Hello, collective. Welcome back to my channel. This is Intuitive Tarot. Thank you guys for joining me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome. Hope you guys are doing well, blessed and highly favored. Sending you guys love and light on your spiritual journey. I got to get this verse out of my system, child, because I just been, you know, running up. You know what I'm saying? I cannot worry about bitches. And I can't worry about hoes. Gotta go get it straight to the money. Can't let them fuck up my goals. Y'all need to go follow Mimi to Go on Instagram. Y'all need to go follow her. That's my hype, That's my hype, Gotta hype up my bestie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta go follow her name, Mimi to Go. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram. Look her up, follow her. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, get in where you fit in at. You know what I'm saying? But she, my hype person, you know what I'm saying? If you need that motivation, if you need, you know what I'm saying, that inspiration, she on her healing journey as well. So if you new on your healing journey, or if you're not, still, you know what I'm saying, like everybody needs somebody, that understands, is going through things, but also pressing through and, finding that what works for them and doing what they love. You know what I'm saying? What really, brings out the best in you, regardless of what other people may say or think. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been doing, tarot very long, but I like what I do. I really like what I do. And I like the people that support me, genuinely. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a genuine motherfucker. Whether I'm on, a platform or you see me in person. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no different, in person. Don't cross me, I won't cross you. You know what I'm saying? It's about respect over here. So, but at the same time, y'all definitely go follow Mimi to Go on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I don't own the copyrights to the verse. I just, spit the chorus or whatever. But those of you that know about it, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't, look her up, Mimi to Go on Instagram. All right. But I want to say she from Tennessee. So I could be mistaken, but I think she's from Tennessee. But she, do a lot of live shows, and I think she is on a few podcasts. But definitely go check her out. You know what I'm saying? Follow her on Instagram. All right. But we're gonna go ahead and pull a few cards. This is Intuitive Tarot. This is a general reading, so only take what resonates, you guys. Thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your subscribes. Definitely your subscribes and your support, your views. All right. So definitely make sure you hit that like, that subscribe on your way out. I would really appreciate that. All right. Again, this is a general reading. Gender is fluid. So if I'm talking about a he, I could also be talking about a she. Okay. This could be a same-sex situation as well. So do keep that in mind. All right. This could be clarity of validation for a lot of you also, other intuitives. So, but thank you guys so very much. All right. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Hugs and kisses to you. Well, let's get this message out for you. All right. See what the energy holds. What's going on? What does my collective need to know? What does my collective need to know? Got too many falling out already, child. What does my collective need to know? I'm done. We're done. Somebody saying they're done. I'm done. We're done. So, man or woman, collective, somebody saying, or this is you saying, I'm done. We're done. So you may not be looking back, at going towards someone from your past. You may know or feel as though, or getting that inkling of a feeling that somebody from your past may want to come back. But this is, somebody saying, I'm done, we're done. You know what I'm saying? Whether this is you or whether this is whoever is, on your mind, somebody's saying this. Next card, be your authentic self. Be your authentic best self. All right? Be whoever, what makes you comfortable. I can't help but be who I am. You know what I'm saying? Most people, will try to, be who they think other people will like, you know what I'm saying, be attracted to, get the attention of, and some people will be a certain way because they want to get attention. You know what I'm saying? And some of us, are just who we are. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get people attention anyway. If you're a light entity, you're going to get people attention anyway. You know what I'm saying? Good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Positive and negative people. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want their attention or not. And some people will go out of their way to get your attention in the worst way. You know what I'm saying? Especially if their intentions ain't pure. And sometimes they can be intimidated by you and want your attention. And it's reckless. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, know how to read, a room, read people and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because you give them too much. And even if you don't give them nothing at all, it could really, trigger and make somebody press. You know what I'm saying? They could be real bothered if you ignore them. That's why I like doing it. Okay? Because the more it bothers them, the more they have to face, and deal with themselves. You know what I'm saying? But be your authentic best self. You know what I'm saying? That's where you are most comfortable. That's where you are most loved. That's when you are showing yourself that you love yourself just the way you are. You know what I'm saying? Where you've been, where you're going, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait for somebody to, to validate you or approve of you. You'll be waiting forever. Next card. Your little test only made you lose me for good. Somebody little test. Somebody played a lot of mind games. Page of Swords in reverse. Somebody played a lot of games. Mind games. So they little games or whatever they was told to do or whatever they, tried to run by you or try to get, a reaction from or wanted to teach you a lesson. Or like trying to make an example out of you or some shit like that, made a fool out of them. You know what I'm saying? And it made them lose you for good. That's why somebody's out here saying, I'm done. We done. We good. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like somebody failed at their own damn test. Like whatever somebody played games doing, they failed at the shit they sell. You know what I'm saying? Some people be raw and uncut with the games they be playing, but at the same time, when it's played on them, it's this time next year before they realize, they were being made a fool out of. You know what I'm saying? For even they made a fool out of themselves. Like somebody watched them play these games, even if somebody gave them bad advice on purpose. It's like the people that gave them bad advice or supported them in their bullshit went home and laughed at the shit that they knew this person was gonna act on. Like, man, I bet they gonna go do that shit, man, to that person, man. That person's stupid, bro. This is how people end up losing a good person to their best friend or so-called best friend, or they end up losing a person to somebody in their family. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody, they thought was their boy or they girl. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody sat back and they let something go down, or they let something be said and realizing like, damn, man, you know how rare them people are? And that person like that all the time, so that means they ain't, just playing around. They ain't just doing that shit for show. That's just who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's just who they are. Like, you may be saying they insecure. You may be saying, they trying to play hard to get. But shit, you know how many females, be like that and they intentions ain't even good. You know what I'm saying? They just doing it because other people doing it. This person doing it and they got purpose behind it. You know what I'm saying? They standing on it. They start fucking with you over it. You know what I'm saying? Because you, child. Next card, husband material, came out in reverse. It came out in reverse. Husband material came out in reverse. And the next card, last card, they having, thoughts of, possibly, harming themselves, unaliving themselves. You know what I'm saying? Or this is somebody, a past person or somebody, that was dealing with another person, is feeling like right now. Yeah. Somebody little test made them lose you for good. And somebody was not husband material in the past. Like somebody, may not have been, somebody was like an emperor in reverse. King of Swords in reverse. I'm done, we're done. Clarify. Clarify, I'm done, we're done. What was this? What's going on? Clarify, I'm done, we're done. I'm done, we're done. Temperance, Sagittarius energy, Seven of Cups in reverse. So somebody, finding balance, you know what I'm saying? Being patient, you know what I'm saying? They may have, you know, working on, cooperating, with others. Like they want to find a peaceful solution. Like somebody finding better solutions. It's like, if I knew then what I knew now, I would have worked things out. I would have found a better way to deal with our issues, my issues, you know what I'm saying? Or what I thought, was popping at the time. You know what I'm saying? The temperance. Could be a Sagittarius. Somebody could have Sag in their chart. Got the Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck in reverse with the sun. Yeah, somebody, had a lot of options. You know what I'm saying? A lot of wishful thinking of why they thought, they had a lot of opportunities. Like I got all these other opportunities with people. You know what I'm saying? I got all these other things going on. So, somebody, was looking for their purpose, what I'm saying? Like looking to matter or looking, to be validated by all these different people, you know what I'm saying? Or looking to be recognized, on all these different levels, they could have been an opportunist, you know what I'm saying? Um, and they could have been happy doing this, you know what I'm saying? They could have thought, this where something, was at. But, the harsh reality of something is, they getting clarity on the situation. Like, none of that, came with any kind of purpose. None of these people had genuine purpose for them at all. Like somebody, how you can have a lot of people that want to meet up, you know what I'm saying, and hang out, but not everybody intentions is pure. Not everybody have good, it's got a good agenda, you know what I'm saying, in mind. But somebody had options, you know what I'm saying? Seven of Cups in reverse. It's at the bottom of the deck. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But you're happy, you know what I'm saying, with the sun out here. It could be looking at you now like you cold hearted, you know what I'm saying? Like like they could be looking at you now, like kind of, overly critical of them or something like that. I'm done. We're done. Clarify the temperance. What's the temperance? Nine of Wands. Sagittarius. Like, you at this point, it's like the fact that you standing your ground. You know what I'm saying? Like standing up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like taking your power back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, this person changed anything about you. It possibly made you stronger. Somebody may not have known how many people, you walked away from, or how many people you've had to, say, it's a wrap, with or two. You know what I'm saying? So your resilience is in that area of saying, may have taken you a while to walk away from something, but you did. And that may be something that Seven of Cups, a lot of these people they dealing with, or a lot of these opportunities they had, or options that they had, may not have, executed that the way you did. They may have still been able to come back around. And like I said, for some of you, it may not have taken you, it may have taken you a while to walk away, compared, being one of these Seven of Cups. You know what I'm saying? But eventually you did. And it was something that, wasn't maybe hard to do, but it was something that you've been able to, if somebody played a game with you, ran this test, because this, Nine of Wands is talking about that. It's talking about, your faith being tested. And your faith being tested will take you out of your comfort zone. It's meant to do that. But that little test they made, caused them to lose you for good. That little test that they was trying to play on the fire sign, or somebody got fired in their chart, they ended up, that little trickery, that fuckery they were doing with this magician in reverse, Virgo energy, at the bottom of the deck. That little trickery, that shit they was doing, caused them to lose you for good. Somebody was using their gift, for dark. You know what I'm saying? They were like, manipulating, the communication, that they were trying to have, you know what I'm saying? Or the message they were trying to send was, from a negative, place. It was from a negative place. But at the same time, this is what somebody was like, okay, so this what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Knight of Swords right behind this magician in reverse. It's a missed opportunity. Possibly arrogant, you know what I'm saying? Had a lot of self-doubt, rude, abusive. It could have been verbally abusive, could have been mentally abusive. Abuse is abuse. You know what I'm saying? But it's about, somebody going out of their way to think that, the way that they were moving, was okay. And it's, them avoiding like that fear of the unknown. You know what I'm saying? 2 of Wands in reverse. Like somebody didn't want to, sit their ass down somewhere. Somebody just felt like they had options, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't want to, take a risk and take a chance, on being, sitting down with one person and that person, possibly not wanting to be with them because they don't want to be, in no third party. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to be competing with them, for what? I feel like somebody wanted you to compete. You know what I'm saying? With the rest of these options. And this is why somebody, is saying, like, I'm done. We're done. We're done here. It's a wrap. It's a missed opportunity. Somebody throat chakra was blocked. They didn't know, they played games because they really didn't know how to communicate, they wants or they needs or they desires. Somebody didn't know how to just out of their mouth say, listen, I think I'm going to be a hoe for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm just going to be, a fun boy. I'm going to be a little easy, girl, all year. I'm going to just, put down and put out, you know what I'm saying, and be an opportunist to see where, what I end up with. Could have just said that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, I ain't looking for nothing serious. Well, definitely, you can't be looking for something serious if you can't find it in 7 damn people. Or you got to find it in 7 or 8 different damn things and you still have not filled that void. You still have not, you have overly indulged yourself. Like you keep allowing yourself to be the tool that you're using for all these opportunities. It's like somebody having 7 different businesses and they working at all of them. Like, where do you have time to be yourself? Where do you have time to, really just realize if you enjoying the things that you really like about yourself? Or, how do you know if people really enjoying you? It's hard to tell if somebody just genuinely fuck with you if you ain't genuinely aware of what makes you happy. Out of 7 or 8 different damn things being juggled and, you giving time and attention to. But don't want to be emotionally available. I don't want to be in nothing committed, but you can't commit to nothing. Somebody can't commit to anything. They may go to work, you know what I'm saying, because they know they need to pay that rent and pay that car note and, and eat. Them bills going to be paid. They know they want to go in the house and take that shower. They need them lights on. You know what I'm saying? They know they need to work to do that. But if they can manage, to do less to, to have that, they'll do that. But, don't ask me to care about you now. Don't ask me to, you know what I'm saying, be your husband. Don't do that. So shit, somebody saying, listen, we done. Your resilience is unmatched. You're going to be all right. But, somebody can't manipulate the energy, anymore. They're just wasting their gifts, trying to manipulate, another person into being part of these little tests they want to run. You know what I'm saying? And now they done lost somebody for good. Clarify what this little test is they made. Clarify this little test. What's this little test about? What were they testing the collective on? What was these little tests about? This little test. Your little test only made you lose me for good. Clarify. Yeah, I mean, you happy? You know what I'm saying? That somebody played this game, was one of the, this little test. You know what I'm saying? Three of cups in reverse at the bottom of the desk. Three of cups at the bottom of the deck in reverse. Yeah. Somebody, you happy, with the way things turned out. This person now, realizing that they thought you know, three was a crowd. You know what I'm saying? A lot of gossip, a lot of betrayal, a lot of deception, and somebody wanted to test another person, you know what I'm saying? And now they gaining a new perspective on the situation now, and realizing they were out of balance. Like this is a lot of, you know, like I said, this person, whoever this is, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, could be a Capricorn, could be a Earth sign, don't have to be, but somebody, don't have, they got commitment issues. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Like somebody don't, it's an inability to commit to things, not just, it's like somebody going out of their way. They do way too much, to this is like somebody saying, I don't, I kind of don't want to get in nothing, man. I just don't, I would get in some, man, but I just, too many things come with a lot of drama. It's theirs. They know the shit and the people that they deal with and the lifestyle that they live, the choices they make comes with a lot of damn drama. Overextended as chaos. I'm just saying, like somebody, got a lot of unnecessary ass drama that goes on with them. To be a masculine, because this is a masculine energy. Could be a feminine in a masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? So take it how it resonates. But somebody gaining a new perspective, now at this point, because this little test they made, it only made them lose you for good. There was a lot of Three of Cups. This Three of Cups in reverse, it was a lot of deception, a lot of betrayal. You know what I'm saying? But this was, somebody not using their intuition. This was somebody in their ego. This was somebody, that was in their pride. You know what I'm saying? So your little test only made you lose me for good, but you happy? You know what I'm saying? What was this little test? What was this test? What were they testing my collective on? How were they testing my collective? My little test. What's this little test? Like, the death. Like somebody heart chakra open that child. Going through some type of transformation. Somebody losing you for good activated they damn heart chakra. Like somebody now getting rid of stuff. Like could be going through a rebirth, or you ending out a cycle, or they ending out a cycle of whatever it was they used to do or be like with the death. It's a death here. You know what I'm saying? Somebody going through a transformation. Like they letting go of whatever that is, or whatever version of or this is you ending a cycle, like bringing causing a death to something that needed to be changed. Like this person don't make the change. It's like you made it for them. Like you can't make a decision. You can't get your shit together, or this is what you want to do, or this is how you want to play things. So yeah, okay, I'm happy with it. Let's go. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like somebody heart chakra got activated the minute you cut their ass off. The minute they got to this cold, harsh reality. You know what I'm saying? That they were, abusing their power. You know what I'm saying? Irrational. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody purposely was not trying to understand or be, how you see it? Like somebody was not even, the test that they were playing, like, that they were running on you or like trying out, like it caused somebody's heart chakra to be activated. If they were trying to be emotionally unavailable, and just try to keep things, on a friend type of thing, or friends with benefits, or, just trying to, have they cake and eat it too, or trying to just, be able to be, trying to manipulate you into being with them, even though they out here, just want to be open. I just kind of want to I want to move around. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be tied down. I don't want to this or that. Okay, well, get the fuck on down. Get out the way then. You know what I'm saying? And it's like somebody running a test, playing a game, you know what I'm saying? And wanting you to accept, you know what I'm saying? That if you did feel like they would, yeah. Like, even if somebody felt like, another person wouldn't go anywhere, the thought of them going somewhere, it still was in the back of somebody's mind, like, what would be. Because I feel like, somebody may have thought, you was just a certain way because, like, you being your authentic self, somebody did not know that's what you were being. Them, doing, running this little test on you, they thought was gonna make you do something different or like kind of change up and be like, okay, okay, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all right with you being with somebody else. I just want to mess around. From time to time. They thought you would, do like some of these other, options did, or some of these other opportunities. These other options that they had. Somebody thought, well, some of them said they, was they had boundaries, but they let me cross them. They let me, you know what I'm saying, break some of their rules for me. So, what's up with you? What makes you so much better than them? Shit, I can't do without you. And I feel like that's what it was. Like, I feel like you got tired of or seeing how somebody was trying to play, a situation. And them thinking that if they ran this test on you, it would make you change up something that they thought you was just doing because somebody else may have, exhibited, that same behavior or that same um, expectation, you know what I'm saying? Or they had some of them same boundaries that they started out talking to them with. But they thought, that would change if, they ran this test on you and you would change your mind and like, not be so not territorial, that you wouldn't be so guarded. You know what I'm saying? That you'll let your guard down and kind of let them do what they want to do. And it's like making somebody feel as though, well, this is the best you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to be faithful. Ain't nobody going to be with just you. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well then, bed, bye. Bye. Skedaddle. Go on about your long head or your short head. You know what I'm saying? Get on like you've been spit on. But it's like whatever that test was that they ran on you, it made them lose you for good because you were just being your authentic best self. So keep being that. Keep being that. Because whatever this person thought you was, just putting on for at the time, you may not have, realized they was running this was a test, or you did, but it was like you giving somebody, some time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know this ain't what they doing. They can't be doing this. Clarify the desk. What did I say? 9 of Cups in reverse. Like, this person is sitting up here thinking, that success lied in all this opportunity, all these cups, all these, people that, or things that they were pouring, into, they were given to. It shattered their dreams. Like, now they sorry. You know what I'm saying? Then this sorrowful, dissatisfaction, failure type of feelings now. You know what I'm saying? They emotions of feeling like a failure, like they overly indulged, in things that now I got them so, feeling underachieved. Like, all this, I did all this. I had all these different people I was, involved with, could go to, could, hit up, that I can, expect a text or a call from at any given time. You know what I'm saying? I can go back to any one of these people, and they thought that was success for them. Somebody thought that was them winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody thought that they were winning doing this. Shit. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck with the Wheel of Fortune. And somebody, was looking at how, oh, I got money. You know what I'm saying? I I'm a solid investment. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Who don't want to be with me? Everybody want to be with me. Everybody think I'm the, I'm the boss. Everybody see me as a boss. You know what I'm saying? They see I ride good. They see I'm always feeling good. They see I keep a pocket full of money. They see I always eat good. You know what I'm saying? But this is somebody, that a King of Pentacles is somebody, they got discipline though. You know what I'm saying? They very, debonair, things like that, got a way about themselves, but they also very reliable. And this is how they coming off right now, like abundant. You know what I'm saying? King of Pentacles. And I feel like, now they ready to be decisive. You know what I'm saying? Or this is, this is you. You know what I'm saying? Could be a Leo. The sun is in Leo. You know what I'm saying? I could be talking to a fire sign. You could have been dealing with an earth sign. Or you could have a earth, you could be an earth sign with fire in your chart. Or you could be a fire sign dealing with an earth sign. Take how it resonates. But this person went through a death, you know what I'm saying? Because that version of them that they thought, was winning was really, them fit. Now they feel like a damn failure because they lost you for good. You know what I'm saying? They had all these people, but the one person they lost out of all these people is one that won't return. It's one that won't return. They don't want to return. And this person, give or take, however many years for some of you it's been, this person now don't feel so good about themselves. The longer you are away, the more this person is reminded of, they had a good person. You know what I'm saying? They had somebody that had a lot of discipline, had a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, but they also had a lot of balance about them too. And that is, something that they had before they got with this. You had before you got with this person. You had it after you walked away from this person. That's not something they can say about all these other options they had. All these other options, they'll do what this person want to do. They'll compete for this person. They like to, get online and flex and show out and, try to stun and finesse, this person. You know what I'm saying? Or try to get this person's, attention. They like that. But it's like somebody else saying, out of all these people, the one person that walked away was the one. It took one person to walk away to activate somebody's heart chakra. And that person ain't even coming back. Ain't that something? Somebody was a catalyst for somebody's karma. What's the death with the Nine of Cups in reverse? Clarify the death with the Nine of Cups in reverse. A little test only made you lose me for good. What's the death with the Nine of Cups in reverse? Clarify the death with the Nine of Cups in reverse. Four Swords. Libra energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now you got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. A healer. And this person, whoever they are, they could be a healer as well. But I feel like somebody now, wants, you just want to protect your peace. You're at peace. You know what I'm saying? Like you calling some type of truce, or you just, throwing in the towel like, hey, I'm going to let you have that. I'm going to let you have that. You know what I'm saying? Like we done here. You could be reevaluating, what was said, somebody laying to rest, whatever it is, putting the past behind them. Because at this point, this Four Swords is about somebody's throat chakra. It's about, you protecting your peace. You're not, really saying anything to this person. You don't have any more to say. Like, ain't nothing else to say. They could want to compromise, work things out, talk things out or something like that. But it's at this point, you just protecting your peace. Like, you don't want to be bothered. You could be relaxing, resting, healing, from, whatever this is. Because you got the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You healing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not, subjecting yourself, to something that this person wasn't prepared for, or, didn't feel like they had the capacity, or they didn't have the confidence to be. Page of Pentacles in reverse, right behind this right behind this Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Like somebody had some unrealistic ass goals. You know what I'm saying? That lack progress at the same time with the Nine of Cups in reverse, like I said. You know what I'm saying? They had an unhealthy lifestyle, was disloyal. You know what I'm saying? And when you got an unhealthy lifestyle where you can't commit to nothing but going to work and paying bills and stuff like that, but anything outside of that, you out of balance, you out of whack. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is in alignment like it should be. You know what I'm saying? And what this person thought was working was very unrealistic, and how they were going to get to their goals. Nine of Cups, what they thought they was doing, you know, that was wish fulfillment for them, that what they felt like was going to bring them happiness, purpose, you know what I'm saying, that came with some type of purpose, didn't have no kind of damn purpose at all. You know, this was somebody that was not, you know, trustworthy. They weren't somebody you can depend on. And they knew you to be that person. Like somebody knew you to be somebody like that, but clarify husband material. Why is husband material in reverse? Why is husband material in reverse, Holy Spirit, Holy Angels? Clarify why husband material is in reverse. Two of Cups in reverse. Unstable relations, disharmony, you know what I'm saying? With the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. And it could have been, you know, some distrust, you know what I'm saying? A separation, you know, between you and this person. Could have been a disagreement, you know, a lot of disagreements between you and them. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio could be a Cancer. You know what I'm saying? But it's like unstable relations, like disharmony, you know, in a connection. And that was, you know, like somebody's, you know, past, you know, situation, like they may have rejected your offer because, you know, or they turned down the offer, they missed an opportunity, or it's the fact that they rejected your offer. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, just ended things with this person. It could have been a good, you know, run with this person. It could have been like a magnetic attraction between you and them. Y'all could have hit it off, had a false start, you know, but it, you know, it came with a lot of disagreements. It came, you know, with some very, you know, a lot of disloyalty, you know what I'm saying? A lot of disharmony, you know what I'm saying? Things that was just not harmonizing anymore. It may have been in harmony at one time, but, you know, something started to dwindle down or, you know, wither away after a while, you know what I'm saying? And it turned into a lot of disharmony. With the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, this could be, you know, you standing in your power. You know what I'm saying? You could be in your Emperor energy. It's like you know, taking your power back, calling for your energy back. You know, Page of Cups in reverse. At the bottom of the deck, you got the Emperor. That could have, you know, just was afraid of being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? You know, being very immature, envious. You know, trying to match, you know, or compete with you. You know what I'm saying? Or envious of, you know, who and how you are, you know, who you were. It's just like how you carried yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody didn't like the fact, but this was you being your authentic self. But I feel like Page of Cups in reverse, like somebody had vulnerability issues. You know what I'm saying? Like emotional vulnerability. Like somebody did, like they suppressed a lot of emotions. Like somebody did not want to be emotionally available. But that's because, you know, the root of something, you know, is, you know, what they need to focus on, and they didn't want to do that. The Moon in reverse, you know, somebody now gaining clarity, or they finding the truth in a situation. What did I say? This person they got a lot of suppressed emotions. Like somebody don't even know how to express their emotions in a healthy way because they deal with a lot of unhealthy ass relationships. Whether they family, whether they friends, you know what I'm saying? Whether they co-workers. They used to, dealing with people, or they, run into more people, two-faced it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna keep it real with each other. They all got some type of hidden agenda, or they talk about each other behind each other back. So it's hard to be around somebody that don't do that, and you don't have to be like that with, but they can't help it. Some people be having, old habits die hard. What's the Two of Cups in reverse? Clarify the Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah. King of Cups. They want some forgiveness now. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, feeling as though like they, this kind person, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody wasn't husband material in the past. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of things going on that they were trying to avoid not having emotions up behind. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to keep their feelings, in check, or like they didn't want to look at it like, I gotta be responsible for my, how I treat somebody else or their feelings and stuff like that. And they may have been too 10 toes down for the wrong people. And then the right person came along. Now this person, wants some forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody that may have in the past like supported your ideas, or they will, be someone that nurtures and, supports and, is involved in your creative endeavors. Like they, get in on it with you. You know what I'm saying? Like help you invest in it, or, help you work toward it, or support you, whatever it is. You got the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck with the Fool. See what I'm saying? Like somebody want to come in and give you this equal give and take now. You know what I'm saying? They want to go on this journey. But before, this person, was not in alignment. You know what I'm saying? They had things that they were trying to work toward, but they were trying to use other people and a lifestyle, in an outdated ass version of themselves that was not going to get them there. What's the Two of Cups in reverse? With the King of Cups. What's the Two of... Yeah, the Strength. So this person, they building confidence now. They stronger now. Or they see that, they admire your strength. Like this is something somebody in the past, like, and this, I feel like it's them. You know what I'm saying? Like they having more confidence about themselves. Like somebody now is feeling more empowered, you know what I'm saying, more guided, strong-willed. And I feel like this is something either they have now, or this is something they admired about you. Because somebody didn't think, your strength, may have intimidated this person. Because you made decisions, or you, carried, or you was in some emperor energy that an emperor was not even in. Okay, or somebody was like standing in their power at a time, where it may have been intimidating to this person, and they felt like, I'm gonna, take this person down off this pedestal, or take this person down, off this high horse. Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck, Gemini energy, like somebody, releasing, worry, especially if they got like some fears, you know what I'm saying, of being rejected. Because there's no contact, no communication. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, somebody feeling like they gaining clarity in a situation, but I feel like it's, the fact that they healing, they going through some type of recovery. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is you. I feel like, you releasing, some deep-seated, fears or worries. But I feel like there's a person here that is afraid of rejection. Like somebody that is afraid, or somebody, now is gaining clarity about what's going on, why they are being blocked, or no communication, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like they may be having some restless nights, you know what I'm saying? And in their head a lot, okay? But I feel like they were dealing with a lot of insecurities, or they caused a lot of insecurities. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they could have in the past dealt with a lot of, somebody that had like they caused like a lot of unnecessary drama. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody may have had, a wife before, or they were in a commitment, or some type of, involvement with someone, a Queen of Cups in reverse. that was just like, and this could have been them, you know what I'm saying, that had a lot of codependency, needy, weakness, but I feel like this is somebody they got involved with. I feel like they may have been used to people dealing with people like this, with these, traits. You know what I'm saying? And finding somebody, as strong as you, that's self-efficient, very strong will. You got a lot of resilience. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this person wasn't used to that. You know what I'm saying? They mostly used to people needing them, and them being somebody that people call on, and they can pretty much control and manipulate them people based on what they give them, what they do for them. Give me some more on this husband material, and then we're going to move on to this, having these weird thoughts, child. Clarify husband. What's this husband material in reverse about? Give me some more on this. Give me some more on this husband material in reverse. Yeah, they gaining clarity in a situation. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. See, somebody, realizing now, why and who, is who. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they, wasn't somebody that like somebody lacked stability and security, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody felt like you did, or they felt like, or they ended up being, I feel like somebody got involved, or they were in a connection, at some point with somebody that, did a lot of reckless spending. You know what I'm saying? They may have, with this 9 of Cups in reverse, this person poured and gave and did, for a lot of people. They poured into a lot of things, but they had options. They may have splurged, showed all these different people a good time, things like that. But, this is superficial failure. If that's even a thing. Like somebody, thinking superficially and making everything that they do about materialistic things and making everything about, the money they have, and using that to their advantage and focusing more on that. And it's like somebody realizing now, that was something, that may have caused them, to, be, they use that as a means to control things with people. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like somebody now having to give up that need to control, people based on that, because somebody is already, somebody don't need it. You know what I'm saying? They don't need it. And this person could have had secrets. They could have been involved with somebody that, just was not, somebody was like a false person. You know what I'm saying? They were a false high priestess. Like somebody was wearing a mask, like they were not using their intuition. Somebody was not, standing in their power. I feel like somebody may have gotten involved with somebody that, was just using them, you know what I'm saying, to get what they wanted. Like somebody wanted a certain lifestyle, and this came with a lot of reckless spending, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody was like financially and possibly emotionally codependent on another person. Like they needed this person to spend on them, do for them, compliment them, And just like somebody could have went towards somebody just looking at what they would like on the surface. Or they look good, they smell good, they got this, they got that. But somebody didn't have good intentions. You know what I'm saying? Now a new love is coming in. You know what I'm saying? Somebody getting a new love opportunity with the Ace of Cups. Clarify having thoughts of, who is this is having these unaliving thoughts? Having unaliving thoughts, who is this? Clarify. Reshuffle. Having thoughts. I'm hearing that song by that man name? Bushwick Bill. A mind playing tricks on him. Or Scarface. Having fatal thoughts of suicide. Clarify having thoughts of suicide. Clarify. Who is this having these unaliving thoughts? Why is this? Why are they having these unaliving thoughts? Who is this having these unaliving thoughts? Five of Cups. Scorpio energy. With the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Gemini. Like somebody having like a lot of, sleepless nights, you know what I'm saying? Like they could be having, like nightmares of like, somebody trying to take them out, or they, or they, passing away like in in these dreams or whatever. Like somebody is overwhelmed, you know what I'm saying? They're dealing with they could be in isolation, but they're dealing with a lot of fear. And it could, be dealing with the fact that they, feel like, because somebody ain't gonna come back, or because, somebody, refused to like, or they feel like, there's gonna be some rejection there, but it's like somebody crying over spilled milk. But it's like somebody feel as though like they can't communicate, because they wasn't communicating their emotions and, speaking up, you know what I'm saying, and didn't tell the truth, or it wasn't honest, or somebody, wasn't able to apologize, or they didn't want to admit, they were wrong or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, because it's no contact, no communication, and it's like somebody not dealing with it well. When it comes to a Queen of Cups. You know what I'm saying? Empath. Like you could be feeling this, especially if you feeling, like that sadness or tears or something like that. Like feeling like you're not good enough or something like that. This is your person feeling like this. This is somebody pulling on your energy, feeling like this. You got to know your own energy. This person see you focused on work, whatever you're doing. Are they trying to focus on work? They see you as somebody very goal-oriented, faithful, trustworthy, manifestations, popping. But they feel like, they did too much. You know what I'm saying? Like they feel like, they did too much. You know what I'm saying? And they left you no choice but to walk away. You know what I'm saying? Ten of Swords. And now somebody feel, like a fall from grace. With the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. And this is just from this person focusing on the negative. Or they feel like you've been focusing on the negative, so that's why they feel like, they not going to be able to get to this Ten of Cups with you. Because you're not going to forget, like, them focusing on the negative or whatever. Like, they're not going to get this Ten of Cups with you, and they, can't collaborate, or they want to collaborate with you, get this Ten of Cups. But clarify the Five of Cups, having thoughts of suicide. What is, give me some more on this. Five of Cups, having thoughts of suicide. Give me some more on this card. Yeah. Somebody could be 54 or 45 can be significant. You got the Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck in reverse, Scorpio. Somebody could have been dealing with a Scorpio. Somebody can have Scorpio in their chart. But this is, somebody having, feeling like they, they need for control, got the best of them. You know what I'm saying? They ran too many tests, played too many games. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that fear of change. Like I said, like somebody afraid of, they let, they fear of change or changing things. With the death out here, somebody allowed themselves to be doubted. You know what I'm saying? Somebody doubted themselves, or thought, if I come with no strings attached and, leave my emotions out of it. I won't have to worry about my feelings being hurt. I won't have to be worried about, having to change things about me, to be with someone or something like that, and then it don't work out. And somebody like regret that they did that now. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of regret. But this is, they could be saving or they could be, holding back now, or they penny pinching now, save, just saving their money or whatever. Or somebody, is I feel like somebody afraid of rejection. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, this is karma for them. Like somebody feels as though, they getting back what they dished out. With the Six of Cups in reverse. Like somebody could have went back, to somebody from their past. Or they stuck in the past, you know what I'm saying? Or they feel like you stuck in the past. Somebody's stuck in the past. And it's got them to the point where they feel like, there's like somebody was in like this state of lack, you know what I'm saying? Like they feel like, they heart chakra, is closed. And this could be somebody, they probably walking away from, is upset, the fact that somebody holding back from them. Like somebody, could be, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn could be holding back from a Scorpio, because of something ending with somebody else, or them, not being pleased, with how something ended, with another person. And it's like because and now they holding back, possibly, not giving to another person. Could be a Scorpio, but it's like somebody now, or whoever they holding back from is stuck in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like they heart chakra not opened. You know what I'm saying? And it's like somebody, is like I feel like somebody, returned to the past. You know what I'm saying? Like they not somebody that's very or somebody want to release themselves from that. Like they don't. What I'm getting is somebody don't want the old memories. You know what I'm saying? They want to, get rid of that. Like somebody can't, or they feeling this way because they feel like, somebody ain't gonna forget about what they did in the past. Like they like, damn man, I can't even make them forget that I did this shit. Or it's like somebody can't make you unsee something because you the high priestess. You know what I'm saying? Like if they had secrets and they were keeping things from you or whatever, like what they really had going on, it's like they can't even if they came off to you as one person and behind your back they was somebody else, or they, went about being another way. It's like you seen that too. You are empath, you felt it. You know what I'm saying? But as a high priestess, you see it, you felt it. You know what I'm saying? But somebody now realizing, they needed to be a lot more mature, in a situation. And somebody could be experiencing like boredom, lack of playfulness, like, they don't feel like, really getting into nothing. They could be, isolating themselves. Yeah, they could be going through a dark night of the soul too. King of Swords. And they could be, somebody, they got high standards, you know what I'm saying? Very honest, truth, forthright, you know what I'm saying? They somebody that, is a stand up kind of person, they know, they need to have boundaries, but this is somebody very clever, you know what I'm saying? They come with justice. I tell you, they walk in justice. You know what I'm saying? And this could be you. But I feel like, somebody's under judgment right now. Somebody called judgment on the person. You know what I'm saying? Or they going through, a dark night of the soul, and they could be wanting to be forgiven. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody got a fall, they took a fall from grace. Especially, when you walked away, Six of Swords. Because they know you think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't let outside people influence how you think. And they know you manifesting. They know you manifest what you want. Like they see you as somebody that can manifest. But they lack direction in the past. Like somebody, lacked that direction. Like they lack that self-discipline when it came to their empress. Because they know they had addictions. Things that they know that they needed to release themselves from. They had some dependencies, like whether it was behavior, whether it was, the decisions they made, whether it was the atmosphere that they was in, that they needed, that you may have been trying to self-medicate, alcohol, smoking, doing a lot more overindulging in things that really was not helping the situation. They needed to just make the change, walk away, let go of this old version of themselves, put these people, to the side, cut these folks off, put some shit down, and just look at yourself, and sit with yourself and make a list, or just be honest with yourself. So if you're going to be anything, be for real. You know what I'm saying? What's the overall outcome moving forward in this situation? What's the overall outcome moving forward in this situation for my collective? Focusing on work. You know what I'm saying? And somebody could want to compromise, child. They could, want a reconciliation here. Like you could be focusing on what you're doing, or they could be focusing on work. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn with the Seven of Pentacles. Like somebody could be focusing on what they're doing right now. Especially, if it's things that they know they planting seeds, or you planting seeds, right now for long-term success. But you may not be working at your full potential. You know what I'm saying? You may be new on your journey. They could be new on their journey, but they want to compromise, some type of, reconciliation. Five of Swords in reverse. Like somebody don't want to be dishonest. They don't want to, because the Five of Swords in the upright is somebody, conflict, battles, arguments, fights, intimidation, arguments. You know what I'm saying? Hostility. They don't want to, be met with that. They feel like they may be, but they don't want to come with that. This is somebody that want to put the past, they got a lot of past resentment for how things turned out. You know what I'm saying? They want to reconcile. They could be wanting to take some swift, action, or some swift changes could be coming. And you may have to take some quick action, Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying? Aries, Leo, Sag. Somebody wants to celebrate, but there's, that moment of truth where somebody may have been dealing with, a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. You know what I'm saying? Or this could have been that person. You know what I'm saying? A water sign could have been dealing with an earth sign. Or they could have earth in their chart, but yeah. Or it's a Queen of Pentacles that's not going to be, that was self-absorbed, obsessed with status, or this was this person. What does my collective want moving forward in this situation? What does my collective want moving forward in this situation? What does my collective want? It's clear you done. What does my collective want from this situation moving forward? Passionate new beginning. Passionate new beginning. I'm saying Aries, Leo, Sag. With the Queen of Cups right here. Somebody's definitely an empath. You could be a counselor. You could be a therapist. You could be a social worker. But you're a very good listener. You know what I'm saying? Very good listener. And you could be a water sign dealing with a water sign in this situation. But I'm going to end it here. Hopefully the message resonates with you guys and or is helpful in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe button for your girl on your way out. And as always, those of you that genuinely love me, know that I love you too. Mwah. Bye.